Welcome to the Existential Empath Podcast. My name is Tanya, and I am an intuitive empath. My intention is to share valuable tips, tools, and techniques that I have learned so you can tap into your own inner healer naturally and intuitively. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you are all doing well. I want to touch on a topic that I am recognizing a lot in the conscious community as well as my clients, and that is ascension symptoms. And all I really want to say is that ascension symptoms are belief systems. And when I say that phrase or that statement, if you feel restriction in your body or if you think, oh, that's not true, then you have a limited belief around what ascension symptoms are. So even the word symptom has a negative connotation behind it. Symptom is a sign of the existence of something, especially of an undesirable situation. And so when we are talking about ascension symptoms, we're basically holding ourselves in a suffering or a victim consciousness. And so let me explain this a little bit deeper. We are divine beings. We are meant to be living in a state of harmony, peace, happiness, joy, love, balance. We are not meant to be living in a state of suffering, pain, sadness, sorrow. And when we continually find ourselves categorizing our pain, our issues, our suffering into what is known as ascension symptoms, then really what we're doing is we are putting the blame on something outside of ourselves. So, say for example, you wake up in the morning and the moment you open your eyes, you feel wonderful. Okay. And then you begin to go about your day and you notice that you start to get a headache and you immediately start to think, oh no, what is the Schumann resonance? Let me check that out. Or is there a full moon, happening? Or is there an M-class solar flare going on? That must be why I'm having this headache. And, really what you're doing is you're pointing the blame on something external. And I'm not saying that M-class solar flares aren't happening. I'm not saying that the Schumann resonance isn't spiking, but newsflash, everybody, uh, energy has been happening since the beginning of time. Okay. So these spikes in energy, these shifts in the moon phases, the solar activity, all of this has been happening since the day you were born and way before that. And we are just, bringing it to the conscious now. So, when we focus on ascension symptoms, it was a seed that was planted in our subconscious mind that says when we feel pain or suffering or something, it's got to be because of the energy, because we're going through some energy shifts. And really what that's doing is it's distracting us from going within and really finding the deeper meaning or the deeper root cause as to why we may be having some of these um, disruptions or disharmonies within the body. So, if you have a headache and you immediately, look outside of yourself as to why you have that headache, you are pulling yourself away from healing whatever is causing that headache. So rather than sitting with the headache and going within and diving a little bit deeper to figure out, where is the stem or the root of this headache, we are kind of overlooking it, kind of spiritual bypassing it by saying, oh, it's got to just be because of the energies. It'll pass, right? It'll pass. And then, maybe it does pass. And then a few days goes by and then you have the headache again. And then you go back and say, okay, well, what solar activity are we having? Or, what energies are we getting? And really what you're doing is you're putting yourself into a loop pattern and you're not really doing the inner work to dive in to really figure out, why am I having these issues or this pain in my body? And as empaths, we're all very, very sensitive to the energies. I'm not downplaying that. I'm not saying that that's not happening, but what I am seeing is that many of us are blaming the energies for the issues that we have, and it's pulling us away from actually diving in and healing what's going on within our body. So we have the opportunity to transcend those energies, and we have an opportunity to ride the wave versus being thrashed around by the riptide or the undercurrent. And when we begin to really dive in and heal that shadow self or that inner child that we are looking outside of ourselves to put focus on, whether that be the energies or whatnot, then it's really pulling us away from our healing. And so when we do have these spikes in energy, really what it's doing is it's bringing things up to the surface for us to heal. And the best things that we can do, the best tools or techniques that we can do is to go within. And what's really helped me is if I don't even notice uh, so-called ascension symptoms anymore, because I pulled that out of my belief system. It's not even in my wheelhouse anymore. I feel fantastic. I feel wonderful, and I'm riding these energies versus feeling horrible and waking up in pain every day. That is just not my reality anymore. And so when you pull yourself out of that frequency, you will begin to recognize that when these energy spikes do come in, you're either not even noticing them, or you're just using them in a more positive way. You might be using them to motivate yourself, or to use them to create, using them to manifest and attract things in your life, versus letting those energies dictate how you feel and how you are going about your day. And so some tools that have helped me is when I feel those things coming about, because, for example, maybe a few weeks ago, I had some anxiety come up, and I could have said, oh wow, the energies are really powerful right now, that must be why I'm having anxiety. But no, what I decided to do is I decided to sit with my anxiety, and I meditated, and I had a conversation with my anxiety, almost like it was a consciousness. It was like another person. I had a conversation with it. Okay, anxiety, I see you. I see that you come around from time to time. I don't really understand why you're here, but let's dive into this a little bit more. Let's have a talk about it. Is this a physical reason why I'm having anxiety? Is it emotional? Is it mental? Is it spiritual? Is it energetic? Why are you coming around anxiety? What is happening here? And so when I had that conversation with my anxiety, I realized it was emotional. It was something that had started in my childhood, and I was able to trace it back to something that was creating an event within my current reality that was on a loop. And it was something that my subconscious mind had been holding on to, that was ready to be released. And so I haven't recognized any anxiety since, and it hasn't come up. And if it comes up again, then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to sit with that. And I used a little bit of EFT tapping to move through that energy. I used some breath work, and sat in some meditation, and I was able to transmute that energy of my anxiety. And so I encourage all of you out there that if you are allowing these external energies to dictate how you feel, or maybe you're worrying about others around you. Maybe you're worried that others can't handle the energies. Then really what you're doing is you're sending suffering energy to people. When you worry about them, you are sending them pain. Worry is something that we think could happen. It's a possibility of something that could happen that may or may not happen. And so, we are powerful creators, we are powerful manifestors. And when we utilize these energies that are coming in, we can do it in a positive or negative way. We have a choice. We have a choice to choose where we want to focus our attention. And if if you're recognizing that you're getting certain pains in your body, or you're very sensitive to the energies coming in, then really what it's doing is the energies are bringing these things to the surface that you need to heal within inside of you. And this is what we're learning during our awakening process, is we're learning how to go within and how to heal what's going on inside of us. Because if we're experiencing physical pain, that's something that's much deeper. It's emotional, could be spiritual, could be mental, and we have to go within and figure out, where is this pain coming from, and our physical body manifests it much slower. So it is something that was created. And, for example, my anxiety, it was something that was created as a child. It was something that's been going on a loop for many, many, many years. And now just being more consciously aware of when it comes up, and versus ignoring it or blaming it on something outside of us, just sitting back and really having a conversation with it, or drawing your attention toward it and asking it, why are you here? What, I don't want to ignore you anymore. I want to know why you're here, and I want to heal this, because I don't want to be in this pain and suffering anymore. If you're experiencing headaches, many of us want to blame it on the full moon, or, whatever's outside of us, versus just really looking inward and asking our body, why am I having a headache? Why are these headaches here? Why do I have fibromyalgia? Is it physical? Do I need to do a heavy metal detox? Or, is it mental? Do I have some belief systems that aren't serving me anymore, that maybe I need to release? Or is it emotional? Am I being stubborn, or am I too headstrong? Am I not opening myself up to new ways of thinking? Or is it even energetic? Am I doing the inner work? And maybe I'm decalcifying my pineal gland. And maybe that's why I have a little bit of a headache, because I am activating my third eye, or I'm activating my crown chakra. So really taking the focus from something outside of you and turning it to something inside of you is going to help you heal that. It's going to help you transcend that, because we're not meant to live in pain and suffering forever. I mean, we aren't meant to be living in ascension symptoms forever. And this is what I'm recognizing with my many of my clients, is that, oh, these will go away when the solar flash happens, or these are going to go away when we're at new earth. Well, you know what? The new earth is within inside of us. It's here now. It's a frequency. And you don't have to be living in this pain and suffering, in these ascension symptoms anymore. Go within, heal it, figure out what it is, and stop focusing on something outside of you, because we are divine beings. We are meant to live in harmony and in balance. We're meant to live pain free. We're meant to live blissful, peaceful, happy lives. That is our true organic nature. And, if we have created a belief system that we are suffering from ascension symptoms, then we can unlearn that belief system. We can transcend that belief system, because really what it's doing is it's limiting us. It's holding us in a frequency that is not serving us in our best possible way. And so, I just really encourage you to open your mind around this entire concept of ascension symptoms, and, just not holding yourself into that frequency of, pain and suffering and sadness and sorrow and hurt and whatever it may be, whatever your ascension symptom may be. Just transcend it, move through it, allow yourself to let go of the belief that you are even having a symptom, right? Because, even in the healing community, you've listened to Joe Dispenza, listen to Greg Braden, to Bruce Lipton. They all talk about this. When we get stuck into a pattern of whatever diagnoses we've been told, then we hold ourselves into a certain frequency and vibration. And it's not any different when it comes to ascension symptoms. It's just like almost like the the spiritual community's way of putting diagnoses on us. And we're divine beings. We don't need to be living in that, right? So we can transcend that. We can transmute that. And that's the power of the empath. That's the power of our intuition, is that we can go in and we can move into the quantum field, and we can, transcend out of those frequencies, because those ascension symptoms, you're just being held in a slower frequency, right? When you're in a state of bliss, you're in a very fast, increased frequency. But when you're in a state of pain, you're in a very slow, drawn out frequency. So I just encourage you to, maybe meditate on this concept. Maybe you feel like what I'm saying just doesn't resonate, and that's okay. But I do encourage you to just really take a look at your belief systems, and specifically around this topic, and allow yourself to let it go. Allow yourself to detach from it a little bit and just observe it from a third party, and see if you can see it from a different perspective. And, because it's all about, as above, so below, as within, so without. If we're constantly focusing on our external reality and we're unhappy with it, then we've got to look into the internal reality and figure out, why is this internal reality creating this external reality? And so I hope this information was helpful to you. And I know this has been very helpful for me. Like I said, ascension symptoms are not in my wheelhouse. It is not my reality. I ride these waves. I feel fantastic. I feel in the flow state. I am manifesting things. I am in the process of creating beautiful things in my life. And I don't feel weighed down. I don't feel thrown off. I don't feel sick. I don't feel in pain. I feel fantastic. And I think a lot of it is because I have changed my focus from my external to my internal. So I send you all so much healing. I send you all so much love. If you're going through some difficult times, then, just have a conversation with whatever is ailing you. Have a conversation as if it's a consciousness, and see what comes up. Tap into your intuition. Listen to your body. It has so much to say. We just need to take the time to listen. You deserve to navigate your life in alignment with health, happiness, and abundance. To learn more about the services that I provide, including Beyond Quantum Healing Hypnosis, EFT tapping, and the Emotion Code, visit my website at www.theexistentialempath.com.